Aaron and Katie, Anna is
Ollie Bear.
Hey, we are back, and you know what? I spent the morning at Rouses in the dairy department with April Sins, Eat White with Rouses, and we learned a lot about dairy. Take a look. Hey, I'm with April Sins. That can mean only one thing. It's Dairy Month. Here at Rouses, April Sins, Eat Right with Rouses Dietitian, and we have been talking dairy all morning long, but now we're talking butter. Yeah. One of my favorite topics, butter.
Yes.
So what do we need to know about butter?
So I figured we would include this in our tour in Dairy Month because butter is a useful ingredient, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people love to use butter. There are so many different kinds too. I get that question a lot where people say, I don't know what kind of butter to choose. There's so many choices now. But one thing that we need to remember about butter is what's the base of butter, right? It's cream. So it's heavy cream. So it's going to be high in saturated fat. So that is something that we want to use in small amounts because we don't need a lot of saturated fat in our everyday intake. And so just be mindful of your portion of it, okay? And so what I would say is if you really love butter and you like to cook with butter, however much you would normally use, cut that in half and replace that other half maybe with some olive oil, something that's lower in saturated fat.
That's a good idea.
That way you have a blend of both of those flavors and both of those types of fats without taking away what you liked about the butter. So that's a great, easy way to kind of reduce that saturated fat real quick by 50%.
Now, I love salted butter. A lot of recipes calls for unsalted butter.
Yeah.
Is salted butter a lot worse for you than unsalted butter? What's the salted butter story?
I always say go with the unsalted, and that way you don't have the added salt in there. You can always add some salt in cooking according to taste and flavor and, according to what you're trying to take in during the day. But if you start with the unsalted, you can always add some. You can't take it out. So if you start with the salted, then it's there.
You're committed.
You can't take it out, right?
You're committed.
Yeah, and then another thing too is I like to reserve butter, regular butter, for more like baking recipes that it's hard to replace the regular butter in some of the baking recipes like cookies and things like that. So just be mindful of your portions when you're eating it. But there's also a lot of plant-based butters as well. So you can look for something that maybe already has that, like we were talking about the olive oil blend, something like that. Maybe the plant butter with the olive oil. Maybe something that has a combination of like this Brummel and Brown that has some vegetable oil and some yogurt in it as well. And so it sort of makes like a nice creamy feel there without having all the added saturated fat. And then also I wanted to tell you about whipped cream.
I love whipped cream. I'm so glad you brought that up.
So whipped cream is another thing that we have to be really mindful of our portions of it and keep the portions small because it is a treat. Because it is made from heavy cream and then they've added sugar to make it sweet. So you want to make sure that you keep that in minimal portions.
Now, is there a way to lock this down? Because a lot of husbands, and I would be one, you stick it in your mouth, you just fill your mouth with whipped cream. Probably not a healthy thing to do, but if you could put a lock on here, because I will do that. I love that. I did that as a kid, do it as an adult. Whipped cream, I love it. Dairy Month, it's a great month, and you can celebrate it with whipped cream. Hey, we're going to go back to you in the studio. Happy Dairy Month.